Let the minutes show this as the regular schedule. Meeting, Carroll County Fiscal Court, April 22nd, 2025. It's 9 a.m. This time, if you all have cell phones, please silence your cell phones. If this time we stand and do the pledge of allegiance, pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our dear Heavenly Father, Lord, just so thankful again for this opportunity to gather here. We're thankful for the freedoms, and we're thankful for all of the folks that gave their lives to protect those freedoms that we have here. So we pray we don't take those for granted. Just be with us, grant us wisdom as we have these conversations, Lord. Be with those in our community, Lord, that continue to recover from the recent flooding, and those across the Commonwealth and the grief, Lord, that are in the same boat, Lord. Just give them grace and strength to get through the days ahead. Lord, be with those that are ill, those that have lost loved ones in our community. And Lord, please be with those that are protecting our freedoms around the world, and those that are protecting us and help us here on a daily basis with our first responders and law enforcement, Lord. These things we ask in Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
need a motion to approve the minutes before April 15th. Motion by Clay, second by Benji. All in favor, say aye. For transfer, need a motion, please. Motion by Scott, second by Clay. All in favor, say aye. Invoice approval, motion, please. Motion by Benji, second by Scott. All in favor, say aye. All right, we have a representative here. Kentucky Roads today, Tim McCarty, and he would like to give us a little talk today.
Good morning. Looks like I'm here to attend for myself, so I don't have anybody to introduce. I appreciate the opportunity to show up. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Tim McCarty. I work for the Transportation Cabinet. I have maintenance responsibilities in Carroll and Carroll County. I'm here today to talk about rural secondary roads. I was planning to be here in February. The weather got us. Anyway, so I apologize for the delay. However, I just got this updated budget about 3 weeks ago, so we have a little more money than I anticipated. So, last year, I presented and you approved doing South Fork Road. That was awarded to Hinkle. Obviously, they're having an issue with the flood, so I don't know. I'm sure it's got a July completion date, but that might get extended because of the storm damage. So this year, there's about $50,000 more money allotted than we had last. Total allotment $661,000. We had about $75,000 left over from years prior that came back. We have a little less than $100,000 in flex money that we'll speak about here in just a second. So I drove every road in the county. It is my recommendation that we do divided ridge road this year, and we'll start at 36 in and go over to 47. With the monies we have available, we're about 7/10 of a mile short. With the flex monies, we'll get that other 7/10 of a mile, and we'll update the signage across the road completely. So, so the decision that I've come to you to ask is to approve that dividing ridge road, and then you make a decision on whether you want to keep the flex monies or return those back, and then we complete the project. So, 2 motions.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and I appreciate the fact that you see the need to get dividing ridge. And to me, it's quick bucks front dividing ridge, dividing ridge. And again, bucks front still got some smaller issues, but at the end of the day, so I would make the motion to support that. And I guess we got to make 2 motions, right? I'll say that. Yeah, so motion to proceed with using this year's funds for dividing ridge payment.
Got a motion on the floor and a second. Benji? Okay. Second by Benji. All in favor, say aye.
Yeah.
Okay, now we got a
And I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion by Clay, second by Scott to return to the flex fund. All in favor, say aye.
Any questions?
I guess so, yes, Southfork expect it'll still be done this year, they just don't know when.
Correct. I don't expect they will give them an extension beyond November.
Okay, so it'll be the seat paid.
Yeah. And I should be able to get this project in June, which would have a November completion date.
Okay, excellent.
I think that makes the interstate, I said we want, it has 2027 construction lines, and that's from the 38.08 all the way to the county line. As a stopgap, we were able to get about $4 million to do some base failures and in-place paving to try to carry that on to the 2027 construction bonds. I'm trying to get that in June. It's probably going to be in July, but we're going to push to have it completed this year.
Okay, thank you.
It's in terrible condition. It's beyond maintenance.
You're right.
It should have been done years ago, but anyway. So
Y'all just gonna try to do some patching on 71 and what we can to.
our guys will go out and pothole patch again, and then what we'll go through procurement will be like they did a couple of years ago. They'll go out and do some base failures, and I'll wait 7 days, and I'll come back and do some mill and filling, please paving. And before it was in Carroll and Gallatin, and we spent a little over $3 million. This time it's only in Carroll, and I have as much as $4 million to spend. And I'm going to do my very best to spend every penny of that to try to get us in as good a shape as we can. I don't know if they're going to let me do the ramps, if they were minus the last time, but we'll do our best.
Well, I keep bringing it up when I'm.
Yeah. That's all I can ask.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I have one last question. I know that the project was awarded for Lick Creek Bridge at Sanders. Do you have an update on the timing?
It had an addendum. It had a completion date of this year, and I think that's been, I can find out for certain, but I believe it was extended till August of 26 for completion. I don't know the reason, it just was an addendum on the date.
Well, I will say when we had our shift meeting here last month or so, I think one of them said that it had been being bid out.
Yeah,
It's been awarded.
it was awarded.
It was awarded,
April
right?
1,
So hopefully we can maybe push that. I don't know what the flood did to it this time. So.
I'm not sure. I know this last flood, I was fortunate enough to be in Florida. But the flood before, maybe it was flood before, I was on 36 and there was an Amazon tractor trailer there.
Yeah.
And I stopped to see if it was broke down, and he said that, no, I'm worried about the bridge. I said, you don't even worry about the bridge, you gotta go the other way. And he said, Amazon won't allow him to back up that far. And I said, I don't know what you're gonna do if you can't go across the bridge. So, it is in the horrible condition.
You're right.
Which is interesting because we have issues on 71. They roll across that bridge. We had 500 trucks roll across it over the course of that. So, anyway,
I would
hire you to stand in there next time.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask like some of the hillsides due to the flooding and stuff like
I've
that.
got most of those captured. I'm gonna guess probably $600,000, $700,000 of the damage that we will submit to FEMA
Okay.
to see if they'll reimbursing it. Some of it we're gonna have to go ahead and do. Our maintenance budget goes from July 1st to June 30th. In March, we were 120% spent already. That was before the flood. So we're way overspent for the year. So we'll do all we can do. And if the feds choose to reimburse, that'll be years before we get our money back. But we'll do all we can do. I'm still waiting on some estimates.
Also, I just want to tell Dave Perry and all the guys here, appreciate their work during the flooding and stuff and what they've done. Yep.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is Representative Congressman Thomas Massey, Stacy Rockaway is here.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
The Congressman wanted us to get out and go and talk with the counties and the cities after the flood, just to let everybody know that our office is there to be a resource. Unfortunately, we have to wait until the disaster declaration is declared for the FEMA money can be used by either individuals or public. And as far as I know, that those disaster declarations have not been made. The emergency declaration was made, which allows the state and local governments to access federal money for cleanup, but the disaster for the individual counties, those have not been made yet. At least it's not on the FEMA website, and our office has not received an email notification about it. I was kind of hoping it would have been by now. But just if people are having any issues with FEMA once this starts going, please feel free to call the Congressman's office, because we can usually open up an inquiry and look into it and figure out if there's paperwork missing or signatures missing, things like that, to try to get things for whether it's the county or individuals who are trying to get assistance for damages to their home. Just as the usual, we are also here if there are any laws that are being proposed that could affect the county, good or bad, or constituents. Please call the Congressman's office and let him know whether you support or oppose the bill. Judge, I think at one point, I don't know if you're still looking for it or not, you were looking for grants for lighting for one of the parks and ball fields. I don't know if you found that or not.
We've pretty much taken care of it.
Okay.
Yeah, the Kent Park.
All right, it was Spencer County that found a grant for, I think it was soil and water conservation.
Yes.
Okay. Other than that, I will state at the end of the meeting, if anybody has any comments or questions to pass on for the congressman, I'm happy to do that now. And unless you all have any questions.
I'm pretty much good. I mean, with everything, I've got your phone and we've talked and everything, so. We're just waiting to finish here right now, and we're setting up meetings with Mike and everything. And we went out yesterday with them. They did their assessments and stuff, so.
Okay, very good. And I did contact your emergency management. I didn't realize that Tony left back in February, but I did contact them right around the time that the tornadoes and the flooding happened. So I just wanted to let everybody know that we had tried to get in touch with them.
Okay, so you made contact with Mike and get his number and stuff now.
Thanks.
Okay. That sounds good. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda was Phil Brown from Phil Brown Insurance Company, Scott Brown. He canceled out. He's not ready to address the court or with court and stuff on health insurance just yet. So, moving on, next on the agenda is the ascendant. This is a request that we need to address, and Stuart's here. Do you have any comments or anything today, Stuart? You want to talk?
Is there to answer any questions?
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Stuart? I'm going to read this. So, this is what this is ascendant facility, partners design, build, and authorization resolution motion. The judge executive recommends that the Carroll County Fiscal Court approve ascendant facilities. Partners as pre-qualified design building contractors to complete phase 2 of the courthouse renovation project, leaving the purchase cooperative purchasing agreement. Nick, do you want to look at this? By any chance? That's
I think you're just approving the judge to sign the contract.
just proving me to go forward with that.
I will make that motion to approve.
Okay. Motion by Scott, second by Clay, all in favor say aye. Opposed?
Nay.
So I guess Stuart, regarding timelines, I know a couple months ago, we were thinking like window replacements and stuff in this building that started to happen pretty quick, so just curious when we might see some things taking place.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good to see you all. So this process will allow us to start the development of the infrastructure phase for the courthouse renovation and some roofing projects. So the first step is to get with the judge and team and go through the list of buildings to identify exactly what they want to be addressed in each building, and then come back with the measures, so to speak, and projected costs and timelines. So I wouldn't see us getting going probably on the project, maybe till July or August, just to get through the process. But first step is, what do you want us to look at? What have we done so far? What does that look like? And then narrow that scope down and then come back with the assessment. The outstanding item right now, as you know, since we've been looked at the windows, we've looked at some of the roofing, some of the other items, would be just be addressing the clock tower renovation itself and how that is going to happen and then through. So that will be our first item to bring in the architect and engineer. So this allows us to engage the professional services, start the development and the assessment, then come back to the fiscal court and probably more session like we've done before. Work through all that, get that to how you want it, and then based on those costs and items, then we'll proceed from there probably in July with a contract and move forward with execute.
So David, I know you've been working on financial as well, right?
Yes.
You're addressing.
Talk to them. But it's,
Yeah.
okay.
Good.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have the ordinance for authorizing and directing collection of additional court costs and fees. Nick, you have that ordinance that you can read.
I do, if you want to do a motion second.
Need a motion, Scott, motion by Clay, second by Scott.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Now therefore be ordained that the Carroll County District Court as follows, pursuant to KRS 23-813-220, 24-811-85, and 64-091, following additional court costs is hereby imposed in the Carroll Circuit and District Court. A fee of $25 shall be added to the filing fee in all circuit civil cases. A cost of $25 shall be added to court costs imposed on defendants in circuit criminal cases. A fee of $25 shall be added to the filing fee in all civil cases appealed from circuit court to the Court of Appeals. A fee of $10 shall be added to the court cost for each traffic offense. A fee of $10 shall be added to the filing fee in all probate cases. A cost of $20 shall be added to court costs imposed in all misdemeanor cases. A fee of $10 shall be added to all filing fees in small claims cases. A fee of $10 shall be added to all district civil case filing fees. An additional fee of $10 shall be charged for each subpoena served. An additional fee of $10 shall be charged for each civil summons served. All additional court costs and fees collected pursuant to this ordinance shall be remitted to the Carroll County Fiscal Court as required by law. These funds shall be maintained in a separate account and expended exclusively for construction, renovation, maintenance, or operation of courthouse facilities, payment of principal and interest on bonds issued for courthouse projects, administrative expenses related to the operation of the Carroll County Circuit and District Courts, any other lawful purpose consistent with KRS 23-8220, 24-811-85, and 64.091. All ordinances and parts of this ordinance that are in conflict herewith, including ordinance number 02.0530, are hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict. Ordinance will be effective on passage, approval, and publication by law. So, never having been through anything like this, is this we do this every so many years, is this coming to recommendation from Frankfurt?
Yes.
Here, Ms. Melcher, her auditor, came in and asked us to renew our ordinance. It's the same fees that have been on there. Everybody's been paying them. It's just a renewal of what we've already done. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the first reading.
Motion. Scott, second. Clay, all face out. That ours is, just a little, I've got the old one here, so it's basically the same. Yes, yeah.
One issue was the old ordinance did not reference the statute number and they prefer that.
Exactly, they understand. Okay, moving forward. Department head reports. Hope Center, have a report.
Yes.
Nancy, what's
Last week, when we kind of caught wind that the East Rome Square was going to cancel most likely, we decided to set up outside. And I'm really happy that we did. We sold almost $400 worth of almost strictly crafts, not dog treats. And that actually made our total now over $4,400 since July 1st. And I'm really wanting to come to you all about, since I know budget talks are getting started, about getting a van. I did some research and I know it needs to be 15 or less passengers because of the CDL license, and I don't hold a CDL license anymore. I'm wanting to get the clients out, like maybe once a month, go to the library, once a month, go out to eat. Many of you all are not aware, but like Holiday World has a Disabilities Day. It's usually the day before they officially open the park. I used to take my classroom there when I was still teaching. And it's nice because you don't have to wait in line. I mean, you're just immediately on the roller coasters or whatever. I know some of the students that I have been there, and just the swim park is not open. And I know that in the past, the budget that you all had previously before the Hope Center started was much greater than what my budget is currently. So I would hope that maybe at some point you all could either do two, I would prefer one van so that we could all travel together. We have, it'll soon be 11 clients that come every day. So I've got one that's going to come back that's in high school right now. We have 2 that come once a week, and one's on medical leave, and then one comes twice a week. But a couple of those would be able to travel if they needed to with their waiver worker. So the waiver worker would be with them. So the 15 passenger would work out actually perfect if you all could do that. And I actually would even like to, if I don't know what hours the food pantry fills boxes, but if we could work out a schedule where we could actually go back and give back to the community and help fill boxes, maybe not all of them, not all the clients, but at least some of them. Because I would prefer to be the primary driver. I don't know if my assistant had any driving issues or not, but I've not had any tickets ever. So my driving record is pretty clean.
With what you gave me yesterday,
Yeah.
with that van, is that 15 passengers?
I'm not sure.
I didn't look at that part.
I didn't.
But,
It was just information that I pulled up. I'm not real sure myself. I had just spied that man out there.
we can move forward in looking at, purchasing the van, and that's a nice thing that they got out there.
I wonder if I could get them to even bring the van out there to Hyssop for us to actually look at.
I don't know, let me make
But that'd be
a
something we can share with the senior citizens.
I mean, would you be open to that?
Pardon me?
Share with
Having a
senior.
van we can share with seniors, because they're in the same boat, they need to move people around different events.
I would prefer if we could park it at my place and then they can ask for it.
But again, yeah, because with the vehicle, what is this?
We've had some
$60,000?
communication
Is this a used one?
problems.
This is my thing.
I would prefer it to be ours and they have to ask, if that makes sense.
Well, I think maybe it'd be better off to do that, but the senior van, I'm working with Dad's district now on one for them, so I'm just waiting to hear back from them on what they're gonna do for sure. On that, on seniors, but,
I could possibly go out there and check on that
Huh?
van. I could possibly go out and check on that van out there at Marshall's if you want me to.
We can do that, or I can run out there and check on them, whatever. And then you get something to say.
I was scratching.
I thought you were going,
Just remembering that we did.
That's what I was about to say. How much is it?
well, it's under 40 then.
I thought you said $60,000.
Oh, I was saying, you can, well, you can get them on the state price
We're on
contract, I
the
just gave them, they can do those prices, I just got price revision for them, those banks, so. You can get them on the state price contract.
This is a new.
And the problem with the senior center sharing a van with them, if he's getting a grant, could be what the grant has worded, what they can use it
I
for.
agree, and that's,
Yeah.
it's a grant and that complicates things.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably grant funding if they want to go.
There's other, if that dumb van don't work right out, there's other avenues I can look at right now for that.
We'll look into it.
What about liability issues or anything of concern there? We're going on the county. Everything's already.
Just pay this
Insured and make sure that whoever's driving it's over 25 and covered by our insurance.
Yes.
I just know they like to go to the nursing home and
We'll get
visit down there as well.
Okay. All right, we'll look at that.
Thank you.
Is that all you need to finish?
Pardon?
Are you done? Is that all you got? We have no representative from Carroll County Dispatch here today. Moving on, solid waste, you have a report from PJ. Do you have anything additional other than what we've talked about yesterday, some stuff?
Not really, everything is pretty much April was flood, now it's FEMA stuff, so
And that's gonna be an ongoing project.
just everybody keep track of all the stuff, you know, put it in the file, and
Right.
it's very important.
Animal shelter, Teresa? Nothing. Road Department Supervisor, Mr. Gene Clayton.
I have one other,
Gathered report.
yeah, I've had one other thing. I got in contact with Roger McCormick this morning. He's not coming back to you this hour.
Okay.
Effective now, so,
Well,
yeah, I know, so.
okay, thanks, Gino. All right, Parks and Rec, report there by JP, if any got any additional talk about, questions?
Only thing I left off there is one of the most obvious, like, those in phase deal was, you know, broke around everything that's going on Council as far as playground goes.
Right.
Living on it, and then, then we had, Friday we had, you know, we had our day for, kindergarten groups out there, so, part of our outreach, more outreach that goes. We hosted, originally we were supposed to host the doubles, the NCKC, tennis tournament, so we ended up hosting all the doubles, and then we ended up hosting the singles finals as well. With the rain, we were able to get the water off of the courts quicker than the high school was able to do, so. And we got some kudos there from, the ADA high school, we did pretty good for that.
That's good. Any other questions?
Yeah, what's the status of the concession stand field or whatever the little field is up there near the end?
They're going to, when did we schedule that, Judge, last week?
We approved money for that last.
They're coming again, the window between Thursday this Thursday, next Tuesday. So, of course, they're like everybody else in the rain.
Oh, yeah, it's, yeah.
And look at everything. We're behind out there, we're coming out of there. We bring a couple of folks in, here and raise. But I spoke with, Mr. Sellers, and, you know, if we
when we are able to move that, we're not going to, we're going to do that separate from opening day. That way, more the attention there than diluting the whole process. But as far as over and motion. Yes, yes. Like I said, all we know is Thursday, last time out, Thursday, Tuesday, they're coming and then.
The other question, did they ever, I don't remember if you told me, did they ever fix the lights and do the lights on the basketball
Yes.
court? Okay, so that's complete.
Everything's good.
I thought it was, with all this other stuff going on. Okay. We don't need to pay that then.
No issue. They came to see, Red Cross came, I won't say last Wednesday. Last Sunday, they did the final walkthrough and with us and everything, so, and I turned that paperwork in to you guys, so.
I just want to make sure you have that building.
No, I think the only thing out there was fire alarm. I don't know if it got knocked off the wall or something. It was in probably a spot where it was going to happen. They're doing stuff in there. So.
Good. All right, detention center, jailer Daniel Rose here, got anything? Oh, Mike, I'm sorry. Got anything, Mike, bring up?
Mike, your first report, so.
You got anything, Mike?
You said detention center, so I was,
Yeah,
no, the only thing I had, just what we had our staff meeting yesterday. We also had our monthly training. So, we had with air methods last night. And then also I had a meeting with all the supervisors and stuff, and everything went really well. Everything's going pretty good over there right now. So finally had a chance to sit down and kind of get some of that part of things, working with the EMS side of things going. So on that side of things, everything's going well.
all right.
You don't even have your first month under your belt, do you?
No.
Now, Matt's Dusing, he's up in Northern Kentucky and meeting things. He got his report that he's put out, so. Also, now, Jailer.
No, I emailed you guys,
Everybody got
a
that?
list
Okay.
of stuff, but other than that, with these heavy rains and stuff that came in, our roof is just, I know we've talked about it, but it's just, it was bad. It was really bad inside the jail, so, of course, we got cleaned up and whatnot, but just, it's something we're definitely gonna have to look into. I'm reworking my budget, from retail. I'm actually gonna try to add that in there too.
That's what I was going to ask.
Okay.
And one of the things I guess too, questions about with that budget, I'm curious about the daily charge rate for inmates from other counties and stuff. Is that, it's hard to tell what your math is behind the scenes, so. And again, we could talk about that, I guess, now, or.
Yeah.
You talked about as far as, per day. I did not up anything, just because I know Gallatin County is, they're working, I don't want to push them out. I know they're struggling as well, so, I just thought they were the same this year, just because, I don't know where their mind is, but I know, they have worked something with Grant County, of course. Now, Grant County can only take like 10 inmates, but, I don't want to try to push them out, if that makes sense. So, and I know they're getting the same pricing at Grant County, that $40 a day. So, trying to work on that situation without, trying to push somebody out. So, that's kind of what I'm at on that.
So you don't try to do a rate increase at all?
I don't think it would be a wise idea right now, just where Gallatin County, who is one of our, best customers. I don't think that would be a very wise idea, but
So what's so you got moved, then the next closest one, that be
Yeah, she couldn't go there, they just don't have space. So I don't know, I just didn't feel like it would be a good business decision, to do that right now.
yeah, we had some other conversations about it too.
I mean, the one thing I had to do, you know, I keep pretty close eye on finance, and doing a good job.
Yeah.
As far as regards to budget and, you know, the gap that you inherited versus, you know, subsidization by the taxpayers. So,
Well, I appreciate it, we work
you
hard.
know, your staff's working hard.
They are.
I know you're running my numbers to try to help that gap, so it's a good picture. I don't have any further questions, so.
Right.
Corners here, Grant, do you have anything?
The only thing I have, we had one flood-related death to report. That's all I know right now, so. Possibly due to a barricade being used, so.
Any questions for Grant? The vehicle's holding up okay? Judge's coming, so we'll get that this time, so, we'll let everybody know that FEMA's here. We've been working with DJ and Mike, and also Matt's been involved. I met with him after Friday afternoon, after we met with the people on the road on Black Rock and Jackson Ridge Hill. I met with them about 2 o'clock, and they've been in and out, and they'll be setting up over at everything at the Carroll Utilities. That's where everything will be taking place at over there. The courtroom here is not sufficient enough for them at this time, so they'll probably be here for 3 to 4 weeks anyway, and we don't need to tie the courtroom up for that long time, to be honest with you. But anyway, Kysop playground, the Kysop is going in as we speak. Should be there today again. We are moving forward with it. That should be, I wanted to say completed by the end of the week, but I'm not 100% sure of that. If it is, the playground equipment might be, the crumb rubber and stuff is not, won't be down probably. The pools, we're working on the county pool. The meeting, they should be meeting here shortly, if I'm not already meeting, to get that upgraded and move forward with the county pool. That's pretty much all I got right now that's going on. Again, I want to thank everybody, again, road department, FEMA, our office staff, everybody involved in working with during this flood disaster and stuff that's going on. I know it's been really trying on some people, but we've had we've got a lot of good help and we're moving forward with it. I think with our FEMA, we're going to, with the roads, hopefully we get a couple roads with FEMA help, which I'm pretty sure that's going to happen, but we have to wait and make sure. We did have a road engineer in here Friday morning, sorry. And they did review Black Rock and Jackson Ridge Hill, and I just got the report this morning, so I haven't really read it or anything on what they recommend doing. So that's pretty much all I've got, unless some people have some questions for me, that's fine. So we'll move forward. Can the attorney comments?
Judge, we have a bid opening on the cots for ambulance service.
Okay. We need motion to open that. Do that. I need a motion by Clay, second by Scott. All in favor, say aye.
Striker. Is this to replace the ones that were like 10 plus years old and service life and stuff? Bottom line of the bid, $174,571.66. The power loan.
Power loan,
And they get trade-in credit of $4,000. Recommend that court take action subject to Mr. Rattle's approval. So I'll make that motion.
have you looked at this at all?
I can't get right there. I mean, that's what I'm saying, if you want to approve it.
It's been a
It's
while.
been several times in the newspaper because of the court meeting changing.
I mean, we've talked about this, there's not a lot of other options.
Yeah.
This spaces or something like that.
They discussed it with me and I've talked with them
Well,
and everything about it, so.
Scott's made a motion to move forward with it. Second by Clay, all in favor, say aye. And then with the approval of Mike Ratliff, director, if he sees fit.
If we do.
All right, master's comments, we'll start with District 2, Clay.
Only I have is to thank all the county workers involved here for the hard work they put in during the flood and after the flood. And unfortunately, the after is sometimes devastating on the flood itself. So I do appreciate also the jail for taking care of things the way it is. And the EMS and everybody out there. So sheriff's office, everybody had a hand in it. It wasn't just
No.
I did this. We all got together to make it happen. So I do appreciate every bit of it. Like I said, it's going to be ongoing for a few weeks. And if anybody needs any extra meeting, I get a hold of me. I'm not hard to find. So that's about all I've got. Thank you all.
Okay, go with District 3, Scott.
Okay, yeah, ditto stuff, what Clay just said, I mean, kind of different kind of meeting, because we just had a meeting last Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, so it's kind of stranger, but anyway, yeah, it's still fairly fresh with all the water issues and whatnot. But a couple of questions here, I guess, Judge, with it, I mean, I think you mentioned yesterday in passing that we probably spent close to $1 million outlay for flood-related expenses, so I was curious what the major ones were or where we were restricting and scrambling, because I know FEMA and all that, you pay up front, they reimburse, right? So are we just grounding out of lines that have available money? We haven't had any cash in ECDs or anything stuff yet? Okay.
We'll be transferring.
Okay, so I guess we'll expect to see that as invoices come due, we'll see that in transfers, okay, so this again, this is one of the first big events that this board's had to live through, so I'm trying to figure out how it's.
And I'll just make this comment, the thing, we're working on budget, plus we've got this.
Yes.
We're working on the budget to do this, so.
That's really all I had, so.
Lindsay?
Just want to thank Ken for coming from state, Stacy, as well as coming from Thomas Massey's office. And let's see here. Other than that, road department, appreciate everything y'all done. Everybody else has done. Kind of what Clay's, go back to what Clay said. FEMA, with the FEMA stuff, so we're evaluating the creeks, the roads, culverts, everything, correct? Okay. All right, that's it, Judge, appreciate it.
Okay. As far as I know, Nick, we have nothing for executive session?
Yes, sir.
Judge,
I'm gonna,
BJ.
I forgot to mention this Saturday is our first cleanup day in Sanders also.
yeah, I just had that, Sanders cleanup day. Sir.
And I had text Tony and Egg when Jimmy didn't know, so.
I will say this, that we have a lot of stuff, that the road department has been donated and whatever that, and we'll eventually see what we can do with some of that stuff. We have, a lot of, food for the animal shelter and stuff left over that we can use for the animal shelter and stuff, so, I just want to make that there's a lot of stuff left over right now that if people need it, they can come to the road department and pick some up if they have shortage on it, but that's where it's at. We condensed everything together, so. Nothing for the executive session, need a motion to adjourn.